Hi there, good afternoon, guys. This is Neil from ratinghorses.com. Hope you're well. It's been a little while since I recorded a YouTube content. Had lots going on in the background, and we'll be telling you more about that in the new year. Something a little bit different today, in the fact that I'm not going to go through, find a race and go through looking narrow. Oh, I'll start again, shall we? I've not been drinking. I can honestly say I have been a bit under the weather again over the weekend. Honestly, I'm coming down with everything at the moment, but that's another story. We're not going to go down the normal route of narrowing down the field. Trying to look for value, something a little bit different today. So we'll see how we get on with this. But the reason I'm taking today's take on things is because come the 1st of January, we should be adding some results data to our website or via a spreadsheet. We're not quite sure at the moment. To begin with, it'll only be basic results, but whatever we do, it will all help all members to tie in when they looking to build their systems and things like that. And the aim is to help members, but what we want to do is basically narrow down the spreadsheets into 4 or 5 categories. Maybe the overall rating, which is this column here, column E, the OFS rank, the power rating rank, and maybe another 1 or 2 as well. And what we're going to do is basically keep a running total of the amount of winners for the top rated, maybe the top 3 rated, the strike rate, the profit loss to Betfair SP, and that's to begin with. That will be basic, and then what we want to do moving forwards is add different criteria to specific results, and that will help all members obviously in their system building. And talking about system building, obviously racing is going ahead as we speak. Time is I think it's about 20 past 12 as I speak. So I want to concentrate on the one and only evening meeting in the UK today. That's at Kempton. And what does system building mean? Well, first of all, it means the first thing I think about is patience, trial and error, testing methods, criteria, putting those together, see what works and see what doesn't work. For example, if you were concentrating on all weather racing, you could put a couple of criteria together. Maybe you're looking at the top rated horse, and that needs to be matched up with good recent form, maybe, and must be also top power rated, for example. And what I would say to you is run maybe 5 different systems at any one time, so you can make a note of each qualifying pick, and then over the space of weeks, and I would probably say a minimum of 3 months of testing and back checking results. See if you've got anything that is showing promise, and then you could add criteria, take criteria away, but always have around 4 or 5 methods or systems running at any one time. It can be fun, it can be excruciatingly annoying, frustrating, but listen, hey, it's part of the fun. I know many members, and I've been fortunate myself to find a number of very successful systems, some that have continued to make profits and have done for 7 or 8 years. So it is possible. You've got some people who will ditch the idea of systems. You won't win back in finding systems. You can. And then those people may also say, oh yeah, but systems don't stand the test of time. They may work for a couple of years and then they'll stop working. Again, nonsense. I've got many systems, as I say, that I'm using today that I was using over 8 years ago, and some are more profitable now than what they were 8 years ago. So system building is fun. As I say, it can be frustrating, but the main thing is, if you've got the patience, it can be very lucrative. And I'm not going to give away too many details today, but I'm going to go through the Kempton card, so it allows everybody a good few hours to hopefully follow this video, and then we can check on the results tomorrow. But let's just, the aim is to find a few selections today using methods that I know that work. I'll give you a little bit of a clue about some of the things that I'm doing, but obviously I don't want to divulge too much information. But I want to prove to you that it is possible. And of course we might find a few picks today, and they might both lose. That happens. You know, you have poor results, you have good results, but of course it's the long-term profitability that is key. So let's have a look at Kempton. Now, the 455 race, we can see this is a novice race, and what I've always said to members in the past is, don't dismiss novice races and claimers and maidens, that sort of thing, but always take the ratings with a little pinch of salt. And that is because most of the success stories come from races where there's a lot of data. For example, handicap races, group races, that sort of thing. The high profile races, that's because there's a lot more information available, which means there's a lot more data and the ratings can be more consistent. Okay, but it's not to say that you will not make some profitable, you can't make profitable systems or methods away from the handicaps and the high profile races, you know, such as novice stakes. And I have got one method that is very successful and has been very successful for a number of years. There's nothing that particularly takes the eye here in the 455. What I would maybe say is, you look at Abby's Dream, top rated. You got to remember that some of these horses have never had a run before, but Abby's Dream comes also out on top on the OFS, top speed for those that have won, and is the top power rated horse. So if the trainer has got good recent form over the last 14 days, there's not an awful lot to go on here, and then maybe this could be a potential pick, because the Archie Watson has had 19 runners in the last 14 days, just the one has won, so that isn't great. However, if you do scroll back and look at the recent trainer form, you can see he's got a 67% rating, and that basically means that 2/3 of his horses, remember there was 19 runners in the last 14 days, 2/3 of those horses have run to form or better. Okay, so you can argue that his horses are running to form or better, although he's only had the one winner. So what I would do is go over to the 455 at Kempton, and let's see if there's been a little bit of money for this horse, Abby's Dream. And we can, here we go with the annoying pop-ups, we can see if odds checker will behave. We can see, good grief, so many pop-ups, it is annoying sometimes, odds checker. We can see that there has been money, there's no there has been money for Abby's Dream, available at 13-8. It's not quite offering us value. We should be looking for double the price, but there has been money for this horse from the early price of around 3-1. So that is a potential pick, because we've put a few criteria together. There's been money for the horse, that is a potential pick. I'm just going to make a note of that one. Okay, I'm going to scroll down to the next race, the 5:30 nursery handicap, small field. Padika has won at the distance. Lifetime all stats 2 from 2 at the distance. Never run at the course before. Yeah, I'm going to leave probably that one alone. I think there's probably other things a bit more exciting than that one. Maybe this one, 6 o'clock at Kempton. Again, a novice stakes. As I say, take it a little bit with a pinch of salt, because we've not got much data to collate ratings, but we can see that the second rated horse here, Stenton Glider, has run once and won like our top rated, but there's a big difference in the ratings. 13. Now, I do know that on the flat, I'm not going to give too much away, but on the flat in non-handicap races, it is profitable following horses that are well clear, such as this one. Now, I'm not saying this is going to win today, but if you used to back them regularly, you would show a profit. We can see this is actually a course and distance winner from its one run, so it's been there, done it at Kempton. Yeah, 1 from 1 on the course, obviously 1 from 1 at the distance, 1 from 1 on the going. Trainer is in a bit of form, 3 winners from 12, 25% strike rate. Yeah, so let's take a look at the price. 6 o'clock Tyndrum Gold. Let's see if there's been a little bit of money for this horse or not. No, it's as you were. If you click onto Tyndrum Gold, then you should see if there has. You can check the prices from the early hours of this morning. And we can see from around midnight, not much there. It was around evens of about 7:20. Then there's been bits of money for it, 5 to 6, 10 to 11, into 4 to 5 for a little while with some. But it's pretty much held its own, 10 to 11, 5 to 6. Okay, so not much to take from that. But the thing is, obviously, it's not drifted in any way. It's held its price. And because as I say, horses that tend to be well clear on the flat in non-handicap races, overall over the long term, they will be profitable. So that I'm not going to say how clear they need to be and what sort of races and things, but this is the sort of stuff that I have found out, and it's the sort of things that you can work out for yourself. And as I say, with the extra information and data we'll be putting on the website from the 1st of January, this will help. And listen, I dare say there's many of you out there. In fact, I know there's many of you out there that have got successful methods. You've live proofed qualifying picks and results to me, and I have no idea of the criteria that's set to find those winners. So some of you are benefiting far better than me on the ratings. We'll move to the 6:30. Again, this is a non-handicap, similar. In fact, this is Division 2, is it, of the same? Yep, that's Division 1, this is Division 2, 6:30 at Kempton. Dion Sean, I don't know. That one there anyway. Again, a couple of these horses that have had a couple of runs. This one has obviously got the best form, but it's well clear. And again, it's done it at the course and distance. We'll scroll through. trainers 22% strike rate over the last 14 days, but high RTF. So I'm going to make a note of this one as well. See if I can spell it correctly. Dionchon. Let's see if this horse has been backed or what's going on with this horse today. Okay, so there has been money for this. No non-runners. Been backed into 11 to 10. Let's see what sort of prices we were looking at earlier on in the day. And of course, although it is a positive that horses are being backed because it shows that you know there's interest in the horse. Negative, of course, would be that you've missed likely a better price. And we see 11 to 8 was available at 6 o'clock this morning. Excuse me, 6 to 4, 11 to 8, 5 to 4, around 8 o'clock. And it's been steadily backed in throughout the day. There was quite a movement there about 9 o'clock in the morning when people have latched onto that from 6 to 5 into 10 to 11, and that's pretty much where it's stayed. Excuse me. So, sorry, this is 11 to 10. Sorry, so let's have that's 3 horses we've got. Let's have a look, see if there's anything of interest in the rest of the 7 o'clock at Kempton. Again, a novice stakes. From one of the distance, the one that's not won on the all-weather before. Trainer in good form there, Charlie Appleby, 2 winners from 7. So that is a potential. Of course, you've always got to remember, especially when you've got the likes of Stuart Williams, Roger Varian, who have got runners in the race that have not run before. Of course, you can't beat having a bit of experience, but you always have to be very careful to say there's not an awful lot of information to go on, but there's not necessarily doesn't mean that you can't find some good methods. 7 o'clock Kempton, Whispering Romance, and this is on the other side of the coin. See where this has drifted out, and there's been a couple of horses at similar prices been backed, Estimar and Agilia. So let's go back to the ratings. Estimar, the second and third rating actually on our rating, third horses. So because that's given us mixed signals there, we'd leave that alone. You could argue there's a case for this one here, Agila, maybe, but not been on the course for 120 days. Obviously a decent sort, but he's yet to get its head in front from 3 runs. Comes out very well, however, on the power rating and the OFS, and good speed figure. Yep, so maybe this is one. It put me off because it's not been on the track for 4 days, but of course, 4 months. But of course, that may well have been enough time to see some significant improvement in the horse. But we'll leave that one alone. 7:30. Now this is a race, small field race. This is handicap, and I do know, looking at certain things in small field handicap races on the all-weather, that this one here, Gurkha Girl, could be a good thing. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but there's a couple of things there that highlight for me. I'm just going to again check the prices. Obviously we don't want a big drifter or anything like that. Gurkha Girl, 7 to 2. Let's see if that's drifted. It's not really, has it? You know, 7 to 2 there at 5 in the morning, about 7:30 in the morning. There's been a few bits of movement into 10 to 3, and then back out to 7 to 2, barely anything, of course. Talking fractions, so that's held its price. A couple of others that there's been money for, of course. We can see with those blue boxes. So not without a chance. One thing that may be, this looks quite an open event, doesn't it? You know, it's Gurkha Girl 1 from 1 at the distance, not one at the course before. I'll make a note of that. 7:30. Gurkha Girl 7:2. Let's have a look at. Of course, obviously. And if you haven't seen, if you go onto our YouTube channel, just search Rating Horses, that'll bring up our channel. You will see how there's many videos of such races like this, big field handicap races, where I've showed you how I personally use the ratings to help narrow down the field and find one or two selections that are hopefully going to provide us with a bit of value, that edge on the bookmaker, using these two columns here, column A, B and AC. I'm not going to bother with that today, there's enough of those videos on, you can check that yourself. 8:30, 6-runner race, again one that could well be well clear here. 7 clear, course and distance winner, comes out well on the key criteria, second on the OF, but only 1 off the top rated horse. Has gone down the weights one last time out and has gone up £3. Thing that might be a worry there is the highest ever win mark is 69. It's now off 73. And as you can see, failed to get his head in front off marks of 74 and 72 in the past. So that may be enough to probably put you off, or maybe not. Trainer's in great form, 30% strike rate, Gary Moore. Let's have a look. 8:30, Junkanu. I do apologise for sniffing my head off and sneezing away. Okay, so there's been an on-runner. More importantly, Junkanu is the one that has drifted, and there's 2 or 3 others that have been backed. Yeah, for me, I'll probably leave that one alone. Official ratings is one reason that puts me off a little bit, but nevertheless is well clear. So listen, I know I've not given too much away, but what I would want to say to you is we'll be adding some more information on the 1st of January for all those of you that like to system build and test. It can be very lucrative. Okay, I'll make a note before I leave of these 4 that for whatever reason I'm going to highlight. Abby's Dream is 1. Here we go, in the 4:55. We left the 5:30 alone. Tindrum Gold was another one. Okay. 6:30 Dionsion, if that's how you pronounce it. I do apologise if it's not. You may well know better than me. And then there was another one, the 7:30 Gurkha Girl, which was the biggest price out, the 4:72. Now you could all be saying, well, you're just backing the top rated horses, and to be honest, that's what I've done here on these 4, but it's more than that. Okay, there's reasons why I know that if I'm backing these 4 in the long term, I'm not. Listen, all 4 of these could lose today, and then you could be shouting from the hilltop, you haven't got a clue what you're doing. But I know through years of experience and back testing and things like that, that some of these are part of systems and methods that have shown big profits in the long term. I don't get too excited if horses win. On the other side of the coin, I don't get too down when they lose, because I know that long term I will win, and I do win. You have to take the rough with the smooth, and even if all four lose today, I know there'll be another day where all four will win. And as long as my bank and profit graph continues on an upward trend, that is all that matters to me. So I hope, I know I've given you a few pointers about non-handicap races on the flat with horses are well clear. There is a little bit more to that, and I may divulge more in the future. But and that wasn't me, by the way. If you heard a noise, then that is my dog that's snoring her head off on the sofa. So I hope that's helped. I hope we get a few winners out of those. We'll see how we go. But I'll be recording a few more videos similar to this, and we will be doing, obviously, hopefully 1 or 2 videos before Christmas on what I quickly touched on before, with narrowing down the fields in such big races like this, where we can get an edge on the bookmaker. Obviously a lot more value around. And well, let me know what you're on. Let me know if you're any of those 4. For whatever reason, you can email me, or maybe if you don't want to give too much away, you can email me, or you can, if you don't mind, then you can just add a message on our YouTube channel. So I'll leave it there today. Time is now 12:48, so plenty of time before the first one of these 4 picks runs at 4:55. And well, listen, it's cold. It's very cold here in the Midlands. I think we've got to have frosts every night for about 2 weeks now, and I do know there's a few days where it's not even going to go above freezing. So we can expect probably quite a number of meetings off throughout the UK in the next week or 2, especially on the national hunt, I would suggest. So we'll have to, the all-weather might be a bit of a lifeline, so we'll see how we go. Stay safe, stay warm, and I'll speak to you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.